Greetings, Cyberdogs and citizens of the interbubs. This is ReNDoG coming at you from the storage hole in this Let's Play Minecraft Survival series. What is going down in Chinatown today, my friends? Hope you are having a great day wherever you are in the world right now. I am having a glorious Saturday morning. I thank you for asking. The weather outside is absolutely awful. It's raining in England. It is freezing freaking cold. And that means the ReNDoG gets to play Minecraft for the entire day. And that makes me super happy. On top of that, in the previous episode, oh my goodness, we discovered some really amazing stuff, didn't we? We traveled across the ocean using some Frostwalker bootsies, and we came across our very first village. And, well, if you didn't see that, that means you didn't watch the previous episode, and that means the ReNDoG is really disappointed with you. Like, really disappointed. Usually, I threaten to shove something up your butt if you missed the previous episode. Today, I'm gonna take a more of a diplomatic approach, okay, guys? I'm not angry with you. I'm just very disappointed. I mean, if you haven't watched the previous episodes, for example, if you're brand new to the series from somewhere on the interbubs, welcome. I'm very happy that you're here. But make sure you watch the previous episodes. Next time I have to ask you to do this, I might not be as gentle with your butts, if you know what I'm saying. Anyhoozle, welcome back, guys. It's Minecraft Survival, and we are working on the storage hole. Things are going really nicely with this particular project. Unfortunately, the Derpinator is taking a little bit of a beating because, well, I am churning through a ridiculous amount of wood for this project. But today, I got plans. I want to spend a little bit of time here at the storage hole trying to get the roof on the place. At the moment, everything's kind of open at the moment, and well, I want to get everything sort of sealed in. This is going to be a build that is underground. At the moment, we're sort of working on the tunnels of what is eventually going to be our storage facility. And then we're going to be covering all of this jazz with dirt, making a ridiculously big mountainside over here. Going to be pretty sweet. However, we got a lot of work still to do. I've been adding a couple of more chambers into our storage hole over here. I've added another one down here, and I'm very happy with how it's turning out. You see, as we come in, we see different levels. This one goes up, this one goes down, and I want this one at the end of the lobby here to go up so that you get a feeling of a sort of a rabbit warren down here, right? But today, I kind of want to focus on working on the lobby a little bit. I want to head out to the village to get myself a couple of villagers back safe and sound, but we don't have to rush it. Right now, I don't want to open up too many projects in the series. You know, at the moment, we got lots of things still to finish. We need to finish off the mining area. We still haven't got to that. We still need to finish the item delivery system. I don't want to do too much stuff at once. So let's focus a little bit today on this particular project, and I've got some ideas. To start off with, I would like to start actually storing stuff down here. I mean, what's the point of making a storage facility if we ain't gonna use it? And I'd like to start storing food down here because, man, we got a bunch of food cooking up there at the Fields of the Dog. Now I want to start storing that jazz somewhere. So, let's kick things off by making a couple of item frames. Very easy to make. Leather surrounded by sticks. And guys, I know a lot of you guys out there know how to play Minecraft. You're telling me in every single episode, ReNDoG, why are you telling us how to make an anvil? We know how to make an anvil. Well, guess what, guys? There are people out there who are playing Minecraft for the very first time in their lives. In fact, thousands of people every single day are playing Minecraft for the very first time, and the ReNDoG wants to give them a little bit of love too, okay? So if you are a Minecraft veteran, well, be a little bit patient with the ReNDoG, okay? I'm trying not to make it too tutorial-y, is that a word? But at the same time, I do want to help out the new players too. So yeah, hope you guys understand. Anyway, check it out. I've got some item frames over here. I'm going to stick them on the end of the chests, and at the very end of this chamber, or this chamber over here, I think is where we should store food. It is the closest chamber to the entrance into the storage hole, right? And it makes sense that the closest storage area should be for food. And I've got every little bit of food that we've kind of discovered so far in Minecraft. We got some fish that we get from fishing. We got some steak from our cow pen over there. And we've got some bread also from our wheat farm. We've also got potatoes, we got carrots, and we got beetroots. So now we pretty much got all the food storage situation completed, which makes me very, very happy. And I can start shifting across all of the stuff that is scattered around the MOLESHIRE. I can start shifting it in here. That's pretty exciting. I think there's a whole bunch of other things that we'll be able to store here too, like mushroom soup and a whole bunch of other different food types. But this is going to be good for now. I've been trying to figure out what the other storage chambers are going to be storing also. This one is probably going to be like, I have no idea. Maybe weapons or maybe like rare building blocks can be stored over here. And if we travel all the way through the storage hole, we're going to get to another set of storage over here. Pretty big chambers, which we can use for something. And then we've got our main storage chamber through here. Geez, I'm getting lost in these warrens already, which is kind of exactly what I was going for. But check it out. Last time we were working on this, weren't we? This is going to be the very big, massive storage area. This is where we're going to be putting all of our main building blocks, like dirt and stone and cobblestone and all of that fancy jazz. So we've got a ridiculous amount of item frames that we need to make, and we need to start sorting out all of these chests around the place. But before we get to any of that, my fine friends, we need to start talking about lighting for our storage system. It's looking pretty light at the moment because, well, there's no roof action going on here right now. And I don't particularly like these torches over here. I want to try and get a little bit more interesting lighting going on, especially in this sort of thing over here, right? Now, it's going to be kind of tricky to do. We're going to have to get a little bit clever today with the lighting. And, well, this means we're going to have to head back to the Nether for a brief visit. The last time we went to the Nether, we saw a little bit of glowstone in the distance of that hellish zone. And I want to try get myself a little bit of glowstone in the belly today. And this could end really, really badly for us. So, I think in order for us not to absolutely derp up in the Nether, let's make sure that we're completely prepared for this. We're kind of running out of iron though. In fact, I think I might be am I completely out of iron? No, we got a little bit of iron left. I want to make myself some fresh boots over here. I want to get a couple of enchantments onto my armor, just so that we're a little bit more prepared for this time that we go to the Nether. And we can actually add a couple of decent enchantments to our armor without having to have a lot of XP. And then, well, I guess we're going to head over to the Nether to try and collect a little bit of glowstone. Let's head over to the Skelebutt farm. Hello, Maximus. What is going down, my young friend? Let's head back to the skeleton farm, get a couple of enchants on our gear, and let's go spend as little time as possible in the Nether, try to get ourselves some glowstone. 30 levels in the belly, and time to pimp out our iron armor over here. By the way, thank you to everybody in the previous episode who told me that I am a freaking derp. Because, well, I am. The last time we were here, I placed a whole bunch of anvils over here in front of these bookcases. And this is not how you do it, guys. You don't want to be blocking up your bookcases. If you put blocks in front of the bookcases, then it lowers the knowledge that goes into the enchanting table. So that was my bad. I'm going to put the anvils on top of the bookcases instead. I think that's probably a way better place to put them. Now, we need a little bit of lapis lazuli, and all we're going to do is throw on some cheap enchants onto our gear over here. We can do one level 30 enchant, which I think I'm going to stick onto. Let's have a look what we get. Protection 4. I'd like to get fire protection if possible. That would be very useful. Maybe we get unbreaking on the chest plate. Yeah, let's do unbreaking on the chest plate. Protection 4, unbreaking 3. Very, very nice. Let's go with the helmet next. We're going to get fire protection 1 and a respiration 1. Fire protection is going to help us in the Nether, which is good. Projectile protection 3 on the boots. Okay, I'll take that. And fire protection 2 on the leggings. So, we got a pretty pimped out set of iron armor over here. Of course, we could make it much better, but that means I got to sit here and grind skeletons all day long, and I do not want to be doing that, my friends. I want to get myself into the Nether, get some glowstone in the belly. So let's get ourselves back to the MOLESHIRE and ready for an adventure into hell. Oh yes, my friends, feeling real good in my fully enchanted iron gear. I'm ready to take on the Nether like nobody's business. Gonna take Terra with us so we can get some glowstone. I'm gonna take our flame bow and a bunch of building blocks, which is probably the most important block for us to take on this particular mini adventure. We are risking all of the freaking nuggets right now, though. We could lose Terra in the Nether today, and that would make me very, very sad. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Back into the portal room, and let's get ourselves into the freaking Nether world of doom and destruction. I want to spend as little time here as possible, okay? Just want to pick up some glowstone and then get the jazz out of here. What is happening? All of your pigmen, what is cracking? Hello, baby pigmen, looking very cute. That is some glowstone, but it's got lava underneath it, so that's probably not a great idea. Let's head a little bit deeper into this Nether, see if we can find a little bit of an easier glowstone cache to tuck into. There's some glowstone up there, actually. That could be good. That's over lava. That's not good. Maybe we could try and get that glowstone up there. We're going to have to make a bit of a dirt freaking staircase though, and looks like we are going to go over a lava lake doing this, so let's try do this as quickly as possible, shall we? And we have yet to encounter a ghast in our Nether in this series so far, which, I don't know, that makes me kind of happy. Maybe the gods of Minecraft are on our side at the moment and not spawning any ghasts around us. This is going to be absolutely perfect. I want to make sure that we have no lava bothering us right now. Okay, that's okay. We got fire protection on our armor, so that's going to help us not burn alive too badly. But yeah, we're still cooking something fierce. There we go. Okay, we're back to normal. Let's get up to this glowstone and just try get as much of this in the belly as possible. And because we have Silk Touch, of course, we are picking up the glowstone in its full form, which is actually really, really helpful. I kind of just want to get this glowstone and then just get the jazz out of here, because I don't think we're going to need more than this for today's episode. And the less chance, or the less time that I spend in the Nether, the less chance we have of spawning a ghast that is going to ruin our freaking day, right? So let's pick up these last little blocks of glowstone over here and let's get the jazz out of here, back to the MOLESHIRE, down the precarious staircase of doom and possible death, and let's get back to work on the storage hole. This was actually way easier than I thought it was going to be. Thanks, Minecraft! Well, it's not very impressive, Cyberdogs, and it certainly is pretty janky down here. But our storage facility is actually starting to work, which is very exciting news. I've been looking through all of our chests across the MOLESHIRE. I found myself some eggs, so we've got a chest for eggs. I found some apples and some golden apples, so we're going to have some apples over there. These eggs, by the way, have been pooped out by chickens that have been wandering around the MOLESHIRE. And yeah, got some sugarcane here too. I've been collecting sugarcane like nobody's business while I've been playing off camera. And this is going to give us a load of paper and a load of sugar if we actually need it. And I kind of like arranging my chests in this way. It just makes it easier to store your items and keep everything nice and neat. You know, chests get filled up with a whole bunch of stuff, but in a storage room, I want to make sure everything looks really good. So I'm very happy with that, man. Our food storage situation looking real good. Now, let's focus on sorting out our lighting situation. Oh, geez, I'm still getting lost in my own freaking storage hole over here. Let's try and sort out the lighting for this particular part of the storage hole. Let's get rid of the torches, and that's going to give us a good idea of what we need to do. We're going to have some light coming out at the back of the storage section here, but that's not going to be good enough, I think. We need to try and figure out a smart way to get some light in here. And I have got a plan. We picked up all of this glowstone from the Nether, and take a look at this. We can make some redstone lamps. All we need is some redstone and some glowstone, right? Let's make like, I don't know, maybe 5 of them will do. I don't want to use all of the glowstone for this and use up all of this redstone too. Let's make like 5 of these lamps and see if we can find a nice spot for them. I was thinking about plopping these right in the center of each of these little segments over here, right? And that actually looks kind of cool. I was hoping that maybe we could put it on the level down. Is that going to work? Oh, that is going to work. Okay, so let's try something here. Oh, I've lost that freaking bit of plank up there. So check it out. If we put the redstone lamp over there, I think that looks pretty cool, right? Looks like a nice little bit of lighting. Not exactly the most exciting bit of lighting, but I think it's going to work really nicely for this section. Although these do feel like they're a little bit low at the moment, right? Like almost as if they're skimming our heads. So maybe actually it's better that we go a block up. Yeah, all right, let's go a block up, actually. That's going to look a lot better, I think. Now, as you guys can see, for those of you guys who are brand new to the Minecraft, there's not a lot of light coming out of these torches right now, right? These things are called redstone lamps, and they require a little bit of power to function, and all they need is a little bit of redstone. So, we're going to make some levers, and all we're going to do is turn these lamps on using these levers over here, right? So let's just make a bunch of levers, and we're going to put a lever on top of them, flick that lever on, and we're just going to leave it on for the rest of the life of this series, I suppose. And that is going to, hang on, let's make sure the OCD is not kicking in over here. Here we go, looking beautiful. All of this is going to be hidden underneath a mountain, of course, but inside of the storage facility, now we've got some light, which is really sweet. Okay, that's beautiful. We could probably find a couple of other places to stick these redstone lamps. There's probably going to be another one up here when we finish off this staircase, and I guess inside of here, inside of the lobby, we're going to need to have quite a few redstone lamps because, well, it's going to be a huge area. We're going to need a lot of lighting there, so that's very cool. Here I don't think we're going to need lighting because we have the light coming down from these little side sections that we created. I think that's pretty good, and we've got some light coming in here, although just for like symmetry's sake, maybe we want to make sure that in each of these storage pockets we do have a redstone lamp, just so that there's a little bit of symmetry going on in this build, right? That sounds like a good plan to me. Now guys, I've been reading the comments in the series quite closely. Thank you to everybody who's been commenting. Please keep them coming, guys. You guys give me so many amazing ideas, and a ton of you guys have been talking about the fact that our storage hole is looking a little bit plain at the moment, isn't it? It's looking very wooden. There's no color going on in here. It's all very wooden colors. Now, I've been thinking about some ways to get some color in here, and I reckon we could get some carpets in here. That could look really cool, and we could probably start working on getting a little bit of green in here too. Maybe there's some mold and some algae and stuff growing up in this place, because this is going to be a very musty cave, right? But what I want to do, I want to get the storage hole completed first, and when it's completed, then we can start adding some details into it. I always like to do it that way around in Minecraft. I like to sort of set up the foundations of what I'm making, and then once everything is down, it's much easier to start adding in the details rather than adding in the details from the very beginning. I think that can actually be kind of tricky to do. So we're just going to sort of plow on creating the storage hole as is, just using wood, and then when we have more of a hole to look at, we can start adding some of the details in here. What I want to do now is start working a little bit on the roof for the lobby area. I've got a pretty cool idea for this, so let me get some blocks in the inventory and we can start doing some serious crafting up in here, baby. You know, one of my favorite things about Minecraft is watching an area of your world getting transformed by what you are making, right? I mean, it was only a week or so ago that there was absolutely nothing out here, and now we've got this giant freaking wooden storage hole that seems to have sprung up out of the ground. I absolutely love it. It is so cool how, you know, you come to an area of Minecraft, you choose where you're going to live, and there's just some mountains and stuff around, and over time, and the more you play, your world just gets transformed into, well, whatever comes out of your freaking imagination hole in your brain, right? This whole project has got me thinking about a story that I wanted to tell you about, and it's a story that I've told before, but I don't know, man. The more that I work on this project, the more that I think about this particular moment in my life, I suppose, or this particular memory, and I wanted to share it with you guys today while I'm working on the roof of the lobby over here. When I was at school, when I was about 13 years old, my first year at my high school, I went on a character building camp situation. I don't know how many of you guys have done that before. I'm assuming that there's quite a lot of you who have been on character building excursions with your school, right? And basically a character building excursion is when your school takes you out camping or takes you out somewhere as a class, and you've got to spend a little bit of time with your classmates, and you've got to do all these weird things together. You've got to do challenges, and you know, maybe you have to do fishing, maybe you have to build fires, almost like the Scouts, I suppose, right? A character building session, or a character building weekend, I guess, is what they always call them. And this particular character building session that I went on quite a few at my school. We had to do one of these things basically every year. The first one that I went on was a camping character building adventure with some of my classmates. It was about 20 groups of 20 or so. And what we would have to do is we would have to go and take a sort of trek into the mountains that surrounded my school. We'd probably trek for about an hour or so out of the school, and we would find ourselves a place where we would have to set up camp for the night, and that is where we would literally have to spend the evening. We would have to set up a camp, make a campground, make a campfire, and we would be provided by the school kitchen with like sort of tinned food, and we would have to sort of cook our own beans and all of that sort of thing. And it was actually really, really cool. It was definitely cool for a kid like me. I absolutely loved that sort of outdoor stuff. Of course, for the jocks at my school, they absolutely hated it. You know, they felt that it was really nerdy. It's not something that they really wanted to do. But for a kind of weird kid like me that spent most of my weekends exploring the mountainsides of my school, this was right up my alley, baby. This was something that I really was looking forward to, and I absolutely loved it. We trekked for about an hour out of the school, and we found a very dense sort of forest jungle area that had a river running straight through the middle of it. It was almost like a grown over valley, like a very small little sort of valley cove, I suppose, is what I would call it. And, well, it's difficult to describe, actually. There was like a river over here running down the center, and then there was a valley on either side of this river, right? Let me build you a very quick example. And when I say river, I mean basically like a mountain stream. You could basically step over it, right? It wasn't a very big stream, but on the sides of the stream were these banks, and these banks were overgrown with beautiful foliage and mosses and trees and whatnot. And there was a certain part at the sort of base of this little river where there was like a little bit of flat area, okay? It was kind of like over here, right? And obviously this was a place where the teachers would take kids to camp quite a lot. It was kind of like a known campsite, or a very popular campsite for these character building sessions. And this is where we set up our camp for that night. And I camped with one of my very good friends from my hostel, and we made some beans on the fire, and we were telling ghost stories and kind of bonding. You know, everybody, all the kids that went out on this particular adventure, we were kind of bonding and stuff. It was really, really cool. And we spent the night there. It was a beautiful evening. We were able to look up at the stars and see the beautiful African sky above us, and the weather was absolutely amazing, really nice and warm. There were mosquitoes and insects and all of that jazz that you get from camping, but at the same time it was a really, really fun experience for all of us. And we had a really great night. The next morning, we woke up kind of early when the sun came up, and I think the teacher had had enough of us because we had been shouting and screaming all night. And you know what happens when kids get together and have a fun time somewhere in nature. You know, you let your hair down when the sort of parents and the rules are sort of taken away from you as a kid, right? And the teacher that was with us was really, really cool. He was really chill, man. Like, he didn't really mind, you know, he wasn't like a military teacher like some of the other teachers that I had at the school. He was a much more chilled guy, so he sort of let us do whatever we wanted. But I don't know. I think he kind of got a little bit annoyed with all of the noise and stuff. I think I'm going to try something a little bit different over here. Instead of going 2 stairs up, what happens if we go like a slab up and then a stair up? That could be pretty cool, although that probably isn't going to work out really well. Hold on. Do we have any spruce wood slabs? If we go like this and then like this, maybe that's going to work out pretty cool. I think we probably have to go 2 slabs up then, I think. So maybe we just stick with the stairs, actually. Yeah, let's just stick with the stair plan for now. Anyway, the next morning we woke up early. The teacher wanted to get back home, I think. He wanted to get back home and shower and get away from all of these screaming 12-year-olds that were having a great time in the forest. And, well, all of my friends decided they wanted to get back to the hostel too. But you know what? I wasn't ready to go back. We went out on like a Friday night, and you know, everybody wanted to get back for Saturday, and I think some of my mates were probably leaving the school for the weekend, maybe going to spend some time with their parents and whatnot. So all of my friends and the teacher went back, and I decided to stay out there. I wanted to spend the morning sort of out there in the middle of nowhere, go exploring, see if I could find anything interesting, because that's generally what I like to do on the weekends anyway. So I sort of took all of the remaining food from some of my friends, some of the half-eaten cans of beans and whatnot, packed them into my backpack, and went off on a little mini adventure to see if I could find something really sweet. And boy, oh boy, did I find something sweet. I climbed climbed up this valley. I've completely messed this whole example up. Let's get all of this back down again. Basically, I sort of followed the river a little bit, right? I sort of walked next to the little stream, and I climbed up the side of this valley. And as I came over the top of this valley, there was another mountain over here, like a much bigger mountain. And I could see something really interesting in the side of that mountain. There was what was probably an abandoned aardvark hole. An aardvark is like an animal. It's kind of like an anteater, I think, is probably the best way to describe it. And I think that at some point an aardvark, or maybe even a warthog or something, had dug a hole into the side of this mountainside. And the mountainside was kind of like this, right? Actually, this is a very good way to put it. And there was kind of like a hole in the side of this mountain that was a little bit like this, right? It wasn't a very deep hole. I could sort of see into the back of it. It was about this size, if you can imagine that in real life. And I spotted this hole. It was an aardvark hole or a warthog hole, or some animal had dug this hole. And I was obviously, instantly, I had to know what was in there. And I went and poked my head into that hole, and, well, there was absolutely nothing in there, which was very, very exciting for me, because I suddenly realized that I had discovered for myself, literally, a potential zone for a real-life fort. An underground fort. A freaking real-life mole hole, if you will. And I made something pretty awesome out of that hole over the next few years or so while I was at that school. Every now and then on the weekends, I would head out to that particular hole, and I started digging deeper into that hole. Very much like you do in Minecraft. I even went and found myself a few tools from the sort of tool shed of the school. I found myself one of those small gardening spades. I found like a small pickaxe thing, and I would smuggle those tools out of the school on the weekends, and I would start digging away at this aardvark hole or this warthog hole or whatever it was. And eventually, after about 3 or 4 years of digging, we had what was basically an underground fort, an underground base. I showed this base to a couple of my very close friends. In fact, I only showed it to, I think, 2 or 3 people, because I'd actually created a couple of other forts at my school that I'd shown to a couple of other people. And, well, some things went wrong, some drama happened, and at some point, one of my forts got destroyed by some buttholes at my school. So this fort, because it was the most awesome of all of the forts that I had found, I actually kept quite a secret and only showed my very, very good friends. And by the end of our time at that school, we had created quite a large underground mole hole where we used to go and chill on the weekends. And in this mole hole, we had created these bookshelves, I guess is what they were called. We sort of dug into the side of the holes, and we'd also try to put some wooden planks down in the holes like this. Some planks that we had found from our design and technology workshops, and we'd found them in some of the sort of dumps that were lying around the school. And whenever we found sort of 2x4 planks, we would take them to the hole and we'd add them to the ground, and we'd add them into our sort of bookshelves too. And we used to keep like comic books and all that sort of stuff like in these sort of bookshelves of this hole that we created over time. And I guess in a way that became my mole hole, my very first real life mole hole. And maybe that's the reason why in Minecraft the ReNDoG is always making freaking holes in the side of mountains. It clearly comes from my childhood, right? I mean, it makes perfect sense now that I think about it. Oh man, that was really, really good times. And I always think about that hole very, very fondly whenever I think about my time at school. It was a place where I used to go to escape, where my friends and I, we would head out there on the weekends to that hole. We would think about it all weekend long. You know, we'd be always on the lookout trying to find new tools that we could use to enhance our mole hole and whatnot. And oh man, we had such a great time out there. Anyway, that's the story that I wanted to tell you about, the real life freaking mole hole. I think I've told this story before at some point on YouTube, and there's a whole bunch of other stories about that particular hole that I can tell you guys too. And maybe we'll get to that at some other point. Let's take a look at what the roof of our lobby looks like. That's actually looking kinda sweet. Kinda like that, man. Although that is looking a little bit janktastic. And yeah, as we can see, not a lot of light action going on in here, right? In fact, there's hardly any light in here at all, which is a little bit worrying. I'm thinking like maybe what we could do is make for ourselves maybe some sort of a chandelier could work here quite nicely, right? Maybe we could make like a redstone chandelier, although this is where the items are going to be coming up, so we probably don't want anything obscuring that. I guess we might need to pop some redstone lamps like into the sides of the walls or something. I don't know. We're gonna have to find some clever ways to do it, because of course, to make these redstone lamps work, we have got to have a lever on them, right? And that means we need to hide that lever somewhere so we don't actually see it. So I think I'm probably going to rack my brain, figure out something to do with these redstone torches in the lobby. Hey, if you guys have any ideas, man, you let me know in the comment section below. But unfortunately, we run out of time today, guys. I think that story probably took up the majority of the episode. But I do hope you have enjoyed it. I do hope you guys are loving what is going on with the storage hole out here. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But for now, my friends, I'm going to say goodbye. Probably spend the rest of the day playing some Minecraft, because, you know, freaking Minecraft is a beautiful game, baby. Thanks for watching, guys. ReNDoG signing out. We'll smell you all in the next freaking episode.